Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. Today, we're here to talk about all of the bugged nonsense that happened yesterday at 2 p.m., including a lot of the events which did not launch as properly. Now, I didn't get on until I think about 3:30, because I had some things to do, but I was told by people in my Discord that basically the pool party stuff did not launch properly with the right rewards, and then later at some point it flipped to different rewards. So I know that on my alt account that I got the new version, and like the old version included things like new Avengers character shards, things like this. But the new ones had, I believe, some silver diamond credits and some T4 ability materials. It's a bit weird. There's also some good free stuff that you can get out of this event campaign as well. We're going to take a look at that. And we're going to take a look at some surprise purple ISO that showed up into the game earlier on, and what you're going to be able to do with that, apparently. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Okay, so I'm going to start here in the events section. Now, can I just say that there is so many goddamn event bloating going on right now, and this is just my main account. You know, my alt account, actually, with some of the legendary events that are still there on the page, like, it's just so bad that I'm like scrolling and scrolling. The milestones are pretty bad as well, but that's because of all this Illuminati nonsense with all this stuff that's ongoing right now. It's just absolutely crazy. So the pool party campaign event, it's going to be 4 chapters, and every week is going to have a new chapter. What was the, and this is great because that's exactly how I felt yesterday, was this Wolverine facepalm emote. So there's different rewards depending on story, challenge, and bonus. But when you did the bonus difficulty, and you did those 4, because normally it back claims, all the rewards from the other chapters. This apparently changed at some point. I don't know at what point or when, but I know that it did. And I don't know if they're going to send compensation out for this or what. But I do want to point out some of the nodes that are worth farming, which is not actually the bonus chapter. But if you go to the challenge, now this one's interesting. Challenge 1-4. If you're wanting to spend a little bit of extra cores to refresh the energy for the event that's ongoing right now, you can get some additional points for that. But this one basically is like a 50-50 chance that you're getting gold orb and training orb fragments. So this is not something that I personally recommend right away. There's some blue 4 ions to farm. That's new. Never really been able to farm blue 4 ions before. That being said, I'm in no short supply of that. Even my alt account isn't really that hard pressed for blue 4, but if you do really want that, then there you go. But if you go into story mode, this is where I would recommend, is that you get guaranteed gold orb fragments and training orb fragments up to 2,000. So a full orb per day if you're spending 200 energy, which you can just do on your natural refresh. So if you're missing gold, I would recommend doing this. If you're missing training materials or whatever, like my alt account is a bit, I might be farming this for the 20 attempts. And then basically after that, if you want a little bit more of something, then I would go to that challenge sort of 1-4 node here, where you're getting 120, you're getting a little bit more, but you don't really get to decide which fragments that you want. So I would probably go back into here. And honestly, like I would consider doing this for like extra gold. Or let's see what I get. 600, 600. So this happened last time. I don't know if it's like an exact 50-50 chance. I did 10 runs on this before, and I also got 600, 600. So I don't know. Unless it's, let me see. What happens when you do 2? Is it like, okay, it is. I guess it was just pure luck that I just have. Let's do one more time. Actually, pure luck, I guess, that it was a 50-50 split that time around. That was just good luck for this video. But those are the things that I would recommend, because that's quite a bit of extra. And while we're on here talking about gold orbs, I mean, this is things that I, probably people had seen before, but I do want to raise it again anyways. And that's in the Illuminati showcase. If you go into the Black Panther and the Hank Pym story mode, Black Panther has on 1-5 that you can do some gold orb fragments here, which is quite a lot because it has 30 attempts. So 30 times 80 is quite a bit. That's like over 1 full orb. And if you do that for the Hank Pym one as well, you do get that for training orb fragments. So for my alt account, I'm doing training orb fragments, and that is, if you're under level 100, it might be worth coring, to be honest, especially for the event going right now. But you do get XP out of this. So if you're under level 100, you're still getting a little bit of XP for doing that. And I think it's quite a lot of orb fragments, actually, if you're in dire need of either training orbs and gold orbs. So I think that's definitely worth consideration. So those are what happened the other day. I really want to talk about this milestone bloating. It's just a lot. Right. And a lot of these are kind of like what I would say, kind of these whale-ish stone milestones. Like, honestly, that's pretty much what these two are here. And it's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Anyways, let's talk about this pool party dive-in. There was some confusion because the chimichangas that you need for the daily it's the daily objectives basically, but it didn't activate until like I don't know what time, like 5 or 6 o'clock Pacific time, that this actually activated from your daily objectives. You get 1,000. Now, this shouldn't be a big problem, I think, because even if you miss the first day, you will get enough to clear this. I would hope, because the last milestone is 8,000. So even if you only got 6 days of the 7, that would be 6,000, and then you get 500 for just opening up a gear orb. So that's like in the, I believe it's in the Blitz supply store section there that you can find that, and that gives you 500. And then you need like basically 1,500 from the pool party energy, and you get about I think it's like 240, 44 or something like that per day, your natural refresh. So you should be able to do this without even doing any coring if you don't want to. However, like I mentioned earlier on, there is some avenues where you can pick up some gold orbs from doing this every single day, and this will give you a little bit of extra stuff if you want. If you have a little bit of extra cores, because as far as like coring for gold orb fragments, it actually gives you more money, I think, than if you were to have done that on the campaign energy, that section. Even though we are using campaign energy for this current event, but if you were not, then I think you would actually get more bang for your buck for the 50 cores doing it from the pool party section. As far as this is very similar to like the Pride weekly events in terms of what you're getting. It's not a lot of red stuff, but it's a little bit, right? You're getting like 5 G19 minis for Mystic, and then you get some like 2 uniques. Like, not that I really care for these uniques, but it is what it is, I guess. There's 150 DPCs, 8 catalysts, right? Like, it's not nothing crazy, but it's more or less for free. The pool party orb fragments are questionable. It's not really that amazing, but it's, again, more free stuff, right? And so I totally forgot to mention this. I'm going to slide this part somewhere in the video. I'm not sure where exactly, but I wanted to talk about the Strike Store and how ridiculously stupid this is, in my opinion. Now, you can go in there if you have Strike tokens, which you might have got for free over the various free claims and all that nonsense. In the Strike Store, in the offer section, there's a tab for this, and you can find it. It's in-game, not on the web, but you do earn it through buying purchases online and whatnot. And just starting from the bottom, like, you can buy some pretty meaningless stuff. But what's funny is if you look at how much this costs, but also like, I don't know why they allow you to buy this directly. This one's funny. 2,500 for 800,000. Now, just for sheer giggles, you can click on the find button, and they actually do have direct offers where you could buy this. So $70 Canadian for 2,500 strike tokens, if you so desired. So if you were to, and I offers Strike Store, so 70 Canadian to buy that 800k gold is absolutely insane. I know these are just bonus add-ons for stuff for people who are heavy spenders, but this is just absolutely crazy in my opinion. Like, there's a couple of catalysts. I don't know if they rotate or not, but there's only like those catalysts and then the health ones, which actually you need lots of. But I digress on that one. I think that soon, if it's not already, I don't know if you get it for in-game purchases. I think it's only for web purchases, but I'm not a spender really, so I don't really know. So let me know in the comments down below as well what you think about this. It's weird because I think it's primarily for the web store, yet you have to come into game in order to actually spend it. Weird, but it is what it is. I think this is a load of garbage, and I just rewarding spenders even more, or are they? Like, I don't know. It's the value seems just really out of whack. That's just me though. I think it's garbage. Now let's talk about some of the more exciting things, I suppose, that came out. And I do want to say that if you're running into this problem here, this is the free claim in the store for Twilight Expeditions. This is the Raid Alliance event, and actually I should have pointed that out in game. So this is going to be starting today, aka Tuesday. You can see it here. I'm recording this video a little bit earlier on, but this is going to be the one that I talked about in my math video, where you're going to get bonus points for doing the spotlight raids. And now I don't know if those numbers are going to be the same as last time. Maybe that's why it was delayed. Who knows? Because they didn't have the points set properly or not. But anyways, that will be starting at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. So make sure that you check that out. This is a free claim bug that's going on right now, that you can keep claiming this like an infinite amount of times. You can claim it, refresh, claim it, refresh, but you don't actually get it in game. So I guess that's a good thing, but it's kind of broken right now. So I don't know. It's just there. So if you're having this problem, I just wanted to kind of let people know what's going on with this. And then secondly, or where we're at, thirdly, fourthly, this showed up on my boosted account and probably many other accounts as well, is that I believe it's the Heroes Assembles objective here. that you might see this down here in the bottom right hand corner, that there's purple ISO gear orb credits. I believe that's what it is. So if you expand it, it says right here, tier 3 ISO 8 credits. It's purple. Use T3 ISO 8 credits to purchase roll targeted T3 ISO 8 orbs. Now, if you're not familiar with what that looks like, those are actually the things that you get from Doom Raid and other raids as well, that you can use to buy orbs in the ISO 8 section. So you can find it down here, the class-based ones. Like, it takes 2,000 of these blue ones to open up a blaster, brawler, controller, protector, or support. So what does this mean? Does that mean like maybe every 2 days we're going to be able to open one of these orbs? Only if it's 2,000 per orb, right? Like, I don't know what the currency payout is going to be for these orbs. Presumably that's what it's going to be, unless maybe it was a mistake. Maybe, you know, because that wouldn't be a surprise either, that something got put in that they didn't mean to put in this early. Who knows? Or maybe it did and they just haven't explained why it's there yet. Also a possibility, because they're not known for their good communication when it comes to putting things out early, such as the splash screen on this patch, the Annihilators patch, right? You know, nobody knows what the hell is going on still, or at least they didn't for a while until they gave us some info, and we're still kind of waiting for that, aren't we? Right, so that's funny. So yeah, I would expect that that's probably going to be used to buy those sort of class orbs, and then we're going to start collecting this for purple ISO 8, I guess. What I would recommend though is just not using anything, because we don't know anything about this or what bottleneck that this is going to be for at this point in time. And so I am reluctant to tell people to use this stuff when it might be very precious later on, because we don't know how much of this that we're going to be getting. So as usual, I would say hoard until there's more information known about what exactly, and we can't even use it anyways right now, but I mean, I would not use it, is my point, until there's more information about what this exactly is going to be for. Some other things I do want to talk about. It's blinding as hell, isn't it? So this is just some photos from one of my Discordees, Midic, who provided some of these photos of the graphical updates, which luckily for me, I do not actually have on my emulator. I'm not sure if it's emulator compatible, because I think it depends on the device, right? Like, I've had all my updates, but yet it's not here on my Android emulator. So I'm not sure if LD Player will actually get it or not, or if I'll be able to activate it. I'm not even sure where you even go for that, because I don't have it on my iOS either. So I'm not sure. If you're someone who plays on like BlueStacks or LD Player, let me know if you actually have this. I'm not sure if I even want it, to be honest, because of all the things that I've seen. Oops, I clicked too many times. I don't know if I really want to. This looks awful. Like, they spent this time. The other thing is that I've been hearing that it's bricking phones. So if your phone is not up to snuff and you cannot handle the graphical updates, that your game is going to have problems. Now, this is no surprise exactly. They've kind of done this in the past before when it comes to various updates to the game, where you have to keep up with upgrading your phone. Otherwise, your game just won't run it very well. But I've heard that this has been happening to a lot of people's phones and devices. I've heard of stalls when it comes to Spotlight raids in particular, some bugging out of I think it's the first Spotlight raid node that has been having problems with that. I don't know if they're connected, but a lot of various issues with being able to run the game, being able to load it in, and then things like you can see on the screen here. The other one that I want to show you is this, what I call Voltron. I don't know if anyone knows Voltron, the TV show. I mean, there's the old Voltron from like ages ago, and then like the newer modern Voltron, but like Pegasus here being all super shiny, and honestly, it's like, I think it's a bit much for me. I didn't really care too much about, like, it is what it is, right? Like, but if this prevents people from playing the game because the graphical updates, I don't know, cause further problems with devices, then I'd rather they have not done this at all, because I honestly didn't care about this at all. Like, I didn't think that this was a big issue, that this was something that they wanted to do and spend resources and time on. And that's just my thoughts. Let me know how you feel in the comments down below. This was like the only cool thing that I saw, was like, there's some various screenshots here of different characters when they do their diamond promotions. Like, that's kind of neat. This is under the new graphics, by the way. This is kind of cool, I guess. There's one here of like Lizard too, although this looks pretty pixely, to be honest. But anyways, I guess there's like a new background for when you upgrade to diamonds, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like, it looks like it could be like a thumbnail for like character spotlights, that kind of thing. You know, like, that's the kind of screenshot that I would see. But by and large, like, I don't know. I'm not sure if anyone really like cared that much about this coming. And I think in some cases it actually made things worse for some people when they're not even able to play the game properly. Like, I would have rather of them put this effort towards a PC client so that I don't have to run on my emulators that often lag and crash when playing Marvel Strike Force. But that's just me. And again, I did run across a Reddit thread talking about the number of events and milestones is getting stupid again with regards to the bloat in the game. And I might mention that earlier on. I just wanted to raise that really quickly because some people just have so many events. Newer players as well are going to see so many inside, and it's just crazy like how much is ongoing right now, which normally I would not say is a bad thing. It's just getting a little bit convoluted in terms of like what we should be doing, what we should be paying attention to, and all of those types of things. So yeah, we'll see how this week ends up going. Right now, I am, you know what? I don't even care about this Adamantium is Forever event. I'm gonna end with this because like I'm probably gonna get to about milestone 12. I might not even get the party mask. I don't actually care because I'm gonna continue hoarding campaign energy for the next like leaderboard event because I feel like by hoarding, I typically get ahead of other players by not having to do as much. So I'm really not engaging with this event because I don't really care that much about the player frame and I don't need any of this other stuff. It's a pretty bad event, in my opinion, in terms of rewards. It's mostly teal gear that I have no use for. So I'm probably going to get here and then call it quits because I won't even need to spend campaign energy to get there, I don't think, alongside the web milestone. That's just me and what my plans are. Let me know what you're up to in the comments down below. How are you feeling lately in this week so far? And what do you think is coming around the bend regarding Purple ISO? More of that to come, and stay tuned on this channel. So if you're ready to go, if you're ready to go. Uh, until next time, that's what I meant to say. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.